What is Hatha Yoga? The word Hatha means power or force in Sanskrit. It is derived from the words Ha and Tha, which refer to the energies of the sun and moon. The practice of Hatha Yoga aims to balance the male and female attributes and energies. It is a physical and mental discipline, combining cardio exercises with spiritual breathing exercises. Hatha Yoga is a physical and mental discipline. Hatha Yoga is a physical and mental exercise that targets the body's entire being. It helps fight hypertension, a silent killer that is one of the leading causes of heart attacks and other cardiovascular illnesses. Many of the postures in Hatha Yoga are gentle on the heart and have a calming effect on the mind, which is especially beneficial for those with hypertension. Hatha Yoga combines breathing exercises and physical poses. It is a mental and physical discipline that is rooted in ancient Hindu spiritual teachings. It was first introduced in the late 1800 seconds in Chicago, Illinois, by the Indian yogi Swami Vivekananda. It began to gain popularity in the 1960s when it began to be taught in the Western world. Hatha Yoga helps reduce stress, which is a major contributor to many health problems. It is also beneficial for preventing injuries as a result of poor posture and balance. In addition, it can improve lung health. Some practitioners believe that Hatha Yoga can even help you lose weight. Hatha Yoga involves yoga postures that help the body gain flexibility, balance, and strength. These exercises have specific forms and exact steps for entering and exiting them. They also improve circulation and overall health throughout the body. Hatha Yoga not only helps people achieve a healthy body, but it also teaches them how to maintain that body. It aims to cultivate insights into the true self. Hatha Yoga is an ancient discipline that aims to cultivate self-realization and unity between the body, mind, and spirit. It is not about escaping the body, but rather about recognizing it as divine energy that can be harnessed for your personal development. The core of Hatha is meditation. The practice emphasizes awareness of subtle energy systems, known as nadis and chakras. Improper energy flow in these systems can lead to physical, mental, and emotional difficulties. This can manifest in physical restrictions and stuck patterns of thought. Hatha Yoga also focuses on Kundalini energy or prana. It is sometimes confused with hot yoga, but there are important differences between the two styles of yoga. The traditional Hatha style of practice includes a vegetarian diet, celibacy, and cleansing of the alimentary. Asanas are physical positions used in Hatha Yoga. They are named after natural elements or animal shapes. The names of these asanas differ from school to school. The original asanas were simple seated postures that helped the practitioner focus and calm their nerves during meditation. Since then, more asanas have evolved for different purposes. It's a cardio workout. Hatha is a great cardio workout for both the mind and the body. It increases the heart rate and improves circulation, which is important for cardiovascular health. Some studies have shown that practicing yoga can increase cardiovascular fitness. In addition, Hatha Yoga is a great option for those with joint problems, as it helps them maintain strength. Hatha is an ancient form of exercise that has been practiced by people for thousands of years. It combines stretching and strengthening poses, along with breathing and meditation. There are more than 100 different forms of the practice, ranging from gentle to fast pace. It can also help you improve your flexibility and balance. The cardiovascular benefit of Hatha is relatively low, but it can be beneficial for people suffering from depression and stress. It can also help with back pain and improve body awareness. It can also help your body recover from real exercise. The best part is that you don't have to break and sweat. You can even listen to music while practicing. Hatha Yoga is a great way to relax your mind. Instead of trying to burn off excess calories, this practice will relax your body and strengthen your core. It's a spiritual breathing exercise. When practicing Hatha Yoga, the breath becomes an important aspect of the practice. Proper breathing increases energy levels, relieves tension, and is spiritually empowering. It also helps eliminate toxins from the body. Toxins are often the cause of people feeling tired and lethargic, and proper breathing can help clear them. The relationship between the breath and the mind is also a major focus of Hatha Yoga. The breathing exercises of Hatha Yoga are important not only for getting proper oxygen, but also for eliminating toxins. The goal of Hatha Yoga is to purify the mind and promote greater mental awareness. The breath is important in each pose, and it should be taken through the nose. When practicing Hatha Yoga, it's important to seek the guidance of a qualified yoga teacher. The qualified instructor will be able to guide you through proper breathing. According to the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, one of the earliest texts of Hatha Yoga, the practice of pranayama eradicates all types of disease. However, pranayama should be practiced with caution. Getting proper guidance is important to avoid injury. During the exercise, close one nostril while inhaling through the other. This breathing exercise will draw prana into the body and mind. It will also help clear emotional and mental blocks. It's suitable for beginners. Yoga classes can be intimidating for newcomers because there are so many different styles to choose from. Beginners should choose a yoga style that's gentle and focuses on form and alignment. Hatha is an excellent choice for newcomers as it is a gentle style that helps beginners find the right balance and form. This type of yoga can help improve flexibility, balance, mobility, and stability. Although Hatha is an effective form of yoga for beginners, there are some dangers and contraindications. As with any other type of exercise, it's a good idea to check with your doctor before starting a yoga class. Hatha yoga focuses on physical postures and breathing techniques to promote inner focus. It improves body alignment and flexibility while encouraging stillness. Hatha yoga can be an excellent choice for those who want to practice in silence. Beginners can begin the yoga practice with this style of yoga and gradually build up their practice. While most forms of yoga are challenging, the Hatha style is the most beginner-friendly option. This form of yoga requires a slower pace and requires the student to hold each posture for a few breaths. It also focuses on the physical side of yoga, such as the 7 chakras. When performed correctly, Hatha yoga can improve your mental state, regulate your nervous system, improve your digestion, and even allow you to dive into deeper meditation. It reduces stress. Yoga is promoted as an anti-stress activity, and the practice of Hatha yoga may reduce stress levels and anxiety. However, the question remains, how does Hatha yoga work? This study used a randomized controlled crossover design to test the anti-stress effects of Hatha yoga on young adults. In the study, 24 healthy individuals took part. They attended a laboratory session in the afternoon on 2 separate days. They completed baseline measures, a stress task, and recovery periods. In addition, their heart rates and salivary cortisol responses were assessed before and after each stressor. Participants also completed self-confidence assessments before and after each session. The study was conducted in New Taipei City, Taiwan. The participants were women aged 4 to 60 with no history of cardiovascular disease. It was approved by the Mackey Memorial Hospital Institutional Review Board. The participants were randomly assigned to an experimental group or a control group. The experimental group received an 8-week course of Hatha yoga, and the control group received no treatment. After a period of 8 weeks, the participants' stress levels significantly decreased, and they also showed decreased PSS and LF-HF ratios. Yoga helps reduce stress by regulating blood pressure. It also helps reduce cortisol levels. Researchers have also found that it helps people feel more confident when faced with stressful situations. In addition, it improves balance and core strength. Hatha yoga for intermediates. Intermediate yoga practitioners should have a strong digestive fire and a strong intellectual hunger. They should also feel light and energetic and have an uplifting and spirited nature. For this level of yoga, the focus is on breathing and posture. Developing these qualities will lead to a higher yoga practice. Intermediates should look for a teacher who will encourage them and help them achieve their goals. Hatha yoga focuses on posture and breathing techniques. Hatha yoga is a system of physical postures and breathing exercises. Its basic principles are derived from the 8 limbs of yoga, a system of ethical principles for self-discipline and moral conduct. It aims to develop the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of the practice. The physical postures prepare the body for meditation and spiritual development. Different yogic disciplines have evolved from this foundation. Most of the traditional practices include meditation, postures, and breathing techniques. Beginners can start with basic postures like standing and seated positions. Once they understand how the breath connects with the postures, they can move on to more advanced postures. Advanced students can move on to Kundalini Yoga, a more spiritual version of Hatha Yoga. Regardless of the level of your practice, Hatha Yoga is an excellent choice for overall health and fitness. Hatha Yoga also helps people cope with stress. High levels of stress can lead to numerous health issues. Heart disease is a common symptom of stress. It can also help you avoid injuries by improving posture and balance. It can help you improve your lung capacity as well. A basic Hatha Yoga practice begins with a warm-up of 5 to 10 minutes. Beginners should also be prepared for some poses that put a strain on their knees and neck. Ashtanga Yoga is physically demanding. Ashtanga Yoga is an energetic and highly structured form of Hatha Yoga. It is composed of 6 series with a predetermined order and focus. The movements are linked with breath, enhancing the flow of energy. This practice is known to promote mental clarity and inner peace. It is difficult, and students should be in good physical condition. The Ashtanga sequence includes various poses and postures, including the sun salutation, forward fold, push-up, and plank. The movements work different muscle groups and improve core strength. Ashtanga Yoga is also one of the exercises recommended for lower back pain. A small study revealed that women who practice yoga twice a week improved their balance and range of motion. The Ashtanga series is physically demanding for advanced Hatha Yoga students. The sequence is divided into 4 levels, which build on each other. The first level consists of the primary series and secondary series. Advanced students move on to Rocket Yoga, a more physically challenging style of the practice. Ashtanga is rooted in the Tristana concept, which encourages introspection and meditation. Ashtanga is an intense form of yoga that focuses on building core strength and flexibility. It is also known to reduce the risk of falls. It is beneficial for people of all ages, including those with physical disabilities or neurological problems. Ashtanga Yoga also helps people with vision impairments improve their balance. Vinyasa Yoga emphasizes the breath. Vinyasa yoga emphasizes the use of breath and movement to achieve the perfect balance between body and breath. There are many variations of this style of yoga, but the most common is Ashtanga yoga. This style consists of 6 different series of asanas, each with a specific order. However, many yoga instructors refer to a vinyasa as any set of progressive postures that incorporate breath. Vinyasa yoga is an energetic, flowing style of yoga. It emphasizes the breath to help the body move into and out of poses. The breathing cycle encourages the body to lengthen and contract, expanding the belly while calming the nervous system. As a result, this style helps the body achieve balance and better sleep. Vinyasa yoga classes may be structured toward splits, called Hanumanasana in Sanskrit. In addition to warm-up exercises, these classes may also include warrior sequences, which help strengthen the opposing muscles. It might also include seated hamstring and glute stretches to help prepare the body for splits. Advanced yoga practitioners can benefit from vinyasa classes. These classes emphasize the breath and movement and will require a thorough understanding of postures and breathing techniques to achieve optimal benefits. As a result, these classes are challenging, requiring concentration and attention. Advanced practitioners may need some previous experience before attempting these classes. Maha Yoga teaches from an alignment point of view. Maha Yoga offers a unique style of teaching that is based on alignment. In addition to traditional forms, Maha offers students an emphasis on anatomy and the therapeutic effect of yoga asanas. Students learn the correct alignment and use sound and meditation techniques to prepare for asanas. The course includes didactic lectures and hands-on practice. Students receive as well as teach yoga during the training. Throughout the training, the benefits of yoga are discussed, as are the risks and contraindications. Holistic well-being is also stressed. Students who successfully complete the training will be certified to teach yoga. Maha Yoga offers this course for PS 1150 or PS 975 if you register early. There is limited space, so booking early is essential. The Maha Yoga style of Hatha Yoga is based on alignment. The teacher emphasizes the importance of proper alignment for a healthy body and a healthy mind. It is a holistic approach to yoga and is centered on the heart. Maha Yoga's course is open to both beginners and seasoned yogis. To be eligible, students must have at least 6 months of yoga practice prior to taking the course. In addition to this, participants must be in good physical shape and have a consistent 4-hour yoga practice daily. The course is taught by a team of experienced teachers from all over the world. Its teachers have been teaching and spreading the yoga philosophy around the world for over a decade. Flying pigeon pose is a challenging arm balance. The flying pigeon pose is a balancing act requiring a great deal of strength, flexibility, and endurance. It also requires counterbalance and control. Before attempting the pose, however, it is important to warm up your shoulders, core, and hips. The pigeon pose can be particularly dangerous because it can overstretch the gluteal tendons that attach to the outer hip bones. This could lead to injuries and pain in these tendons. Also, many people have trouble bringing their shin parallel to the front of their yoga mat. If your shin is too close to the body, it can cause knee injuries. To prevent this, you may want to place a folded towel between your shin and knee. While the flying pigeon pose may seem easy on the surface, it requires a great deal of strength and openness to achieve. You may even want to use a yoga block to get additional support. Once you learn to master this pose, it will feel amazing. Aside from being a challenging arm balance, the flying pigeon pose is an excellent way to build strength and flexibility in your arms and shoulders. This pose is part of the Ashtanga Yoga Advanced series, which focuses on strengthening the arms and shoulders. Sivananda Yoga is a form of Hatha Yoga. Sivananda Yoga focuses on softening the breathing and relaxing into the asanas. The yoga poses are held for longer periods of time, allowing students to experience both the physical and mental benefits. As a result, a Sivananda Yoga class typically includes chanting Sanskrit and pranayama exercises as well as a long final relaxation called Savasana. Sivananda Yoga students are not strangers to ashram life. In addition to learning the various yoga poses and breathing techniques, they also experience the other aspects of yogic living, such as sadhana, a personal commitment to the practice, and kriyas. Sivananda Yoga students also study ancient texts relating to the science of Ayurveda, a sister science of yoga. The philosophy of Sivananda Yoga is based on the teachings of Adi Sankaracharya, an Indian yogi who lived in the 7th century. Adi Sankaracharya is credited with unifying the diverse spiritual traditions of ancient India into one system. This system is based on the Upanishads, or spiritual writings, from the 4 Vedas. Sivananda Yoga is a form that incorporates both Vinyasa and Hatha Yoga. Its goal is to focus on repetition and breath, and it is more difficult to master than traditional forms of Hatha Yoga. The practice emphasizes the synchronization of breathing and movement to achieve spiritual and physical balance. Hatha Yoga and Vinyasa. Hatha Yoga refers to the exercises that aim at conserving and channeling your body's vital energies. Hatha Yoga originates from Sanskrit hatha, which means vital. It is a collection of poses that form part of the Vinyasa flow. A few of them include the tree pose as well as the bridge pose and the mountain pose. To learn more about these poses, read the articles below. There is also the possibility of understanding the basic principles for Vinyasa flow. Vinyasa flow. Vinyasa is the name that is used to describe the flow of postures of Hatha yoga. The Sanskrit expression Nyasa is to move in one particular method. The primary focus of Vinyasa yoga is the development of awareness of breath during the exercises. Vinyasa yoga can be practiced in many ways. Vinyasa is proven to have an effect on stress levels as well as mental well-being. Vinyasa helps the body to remove toxins and cleanses away waste and boosts immunity. It also improves circulation as well as activation of your lymphatic glands. Vinyasa yoga offers multiple benefits beyond enhancing muscles and reducing stress. Vinyasa yoga may help you sleep more comfortably by reducing pain and stiffness. Vinyasa yoga classes usually include twists and balancing poses as well as forward folds. These are done in sync with breathing. These classes can result in intense. Before you attempt this kind of yoga, talk to your doctor in case you are suffering from knee or joint pains or have any other conditions. If performed in the wrong manner, Vinyasa yoga poses can pose danger. While you can learn how to practice yoga in the beginning through Hatha yoga, ensure that you have enough flexibility and knowledge in order to practice safely Vinyasa yoga poses. Both types are helpful for developing and growing. Tree pose. Tree pose of Hatha yoga is an inversion of the forward bend standing. The pose is a combination of flexibility and strength to create a balanced posture that's both contemplative and relaxing. This posture requires concentration and strength to sustain. There are a variety of variants of this pose. Even though it's referred to as something else by yoga teachers, however, the fundamentals remain identical. First, come to a standing position with legs open. Now, bend your left knee, then join your palms. Next, you should tilt your head back, looking toward the upwards. It is essential to be physically fit enough to perform this posture for at least an hour. There is a requirement to hire an instructor to teach this pose, however, you can take it up yourself with a bit of exercises. The ability to move your knees forward to be able to touch your toes can help you hold the posture over long periods of duration. After mastering the basics, after which you'll be able to move into more challenging postures. Once your body is comfortable, the inverted pose can be done best. Inverted poses are also applied to assist with muscle control and make it simpler to take a Hatha yoga class in more difficult position. Pose of bridge. A basic yoga pose, bridge pose helps you to bring your body into alignment. This posture helps strengthen your back, the urogenital area, and buttocks, while strengthening the ankles, thighs, and buttocks. The exercise improves the pelvic range of motion as well as your vertebral column. It's an excellent option to increase your physical activity and to feel more comfortable. While you're in bridge pose, remember to take long, deep breaths. Deep breaths will help you keep the posture for longer. Breathing will allow your belly to stretch and expand. As your legs raise and your glutes relax and your hips relax, your legs will naturally lift and your shoulders will relax. If you suffer from problems with your shoulder or neck, you should seek medical advice prior to doing yoga. It is important to learn how to straighten and stretch your spine in order to reach the highest quality bridge pose. Additionally, you should remain within your limits. You might find that your hips can be elevated on certain days or lower on others. If you find it difficult for you to bend your knees, you can use blocks to aid in. The bridge pose, when done correctly, will strengthen the hip flexors as well as your spine. This is a gentle inversion. The physical shape of the pose gives it its name. It's a symbol of bridges or connections or even a transformation. You can also use it to bring about changes in your life. Mountain pose. To be able to perform this fundamental position, it is important to relax your arms in a balanced posture. This basic posture requires that the chin be parallel along with soft eyes and a relaxed throat. Deep breathing is important to ensure that you are able to maintain a soft and steady breath. The strength and stamina by practicing mountain poses correctly. Beginning at the top of the mountain, set your feet at an angle to ensure that your toes touch the surface. For some, mountain pose is difficult, but there are many different ways you can modify it in order to ease it. One example is to make your knees slightly bent to decrease the amount of strain on the knees. You can also try standing with your feet in a row or use a wall for support. Mountain pose is also known as Tadasana. This posture requires conscious awareness of the body. There is no movement required, which makes this an ideal meditation pose. The practice is employed by teachers to teach students the ways to perceive their body parts and raise their sense of self. It helps you to perform your daily chores as to have better health and an improved mental state. Mountain pose is among the fundamental yoga postures. It improves leg strength and helps improve posture. It may help ease back pain and ease tight muscles. Sun salutation. The sun salutation is an ancient Hatha yoga posture, and there are several variations. In general, the sun salutation is performed while in Tadasana. The hands are aligned in Anjali Mudra. This hand motion is made using the hands wide and equally pressed. Participants in the sun salutation felt a sense of relaxation and calm in accordance with a research study. They also reported decreased negative thoughts and improved sleeping patterns. This practice is also thought as a way to lessen stress levels. This posture has many advantages. Surya Namaskar has been proved to enhance mental clarity and reduce anxiety in students, more so than the ones who did not. It is believed that the sun salutation is a balancing exercise that activates the energies in your body and clears your mind. Also, the body gets energized through the touch of at least one chakra, the most important pose. It's intended in honor of the Lord Sun. Sun salutation, a series of yoga postures traditionally done in the morning to express gratitude for the power of the sun, its warmth and light. It can be found here. This is usually the first sequence performed in an exercise. It boosts the circulation of the body and prepares practitioner for the day ahead. It also helps reduce stiffness and increase flexibility. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog in Hatha yoga is a pose that requires the upper body to be solid. This position requires you to move your back and then open your chest. It's great for strengthening the upper part of your body as well as stimulating the brain, which improves memory, concentration, as well as eyesight. For making this posture easier, you can use blocks or straps. Also, you can try other variations such as the play one leg down dog in the dolphin posture. The downward facing dog is a difficult posture to master and requires good foundation and alignment. To attain a balance, extend the legs backwards in front of your knees. The necks of your legs and feet must be aligned with the floor. Your hands should sit slightly forward over your shoulders, with your hands set shoulder width away. The index fingers ought to be pointing ahead at 12 at night, and both fingers must be securely grasped. This pose has many benefits, including opening your chest and strengthening your chest. It can also help stretch your shoulders, wrists, and wrists. It also activates the chakra for the solar plexus and assists in removing imbalances within the body. This is an excellent starting pose and transitional position, as well as an ideal resting or relaxation pose. The downward facing dog of Hatha yoga is a good stretch for shoulders as well as wrists. You should begin it on all fours before lowering your forearms toward the floor while keeping arms shoulder width apart. To prevent injuries and increase the effect of this stretch, ensure that you are taking slow breaths during this posture. Hatha Yoga, a guide for beginners and experts. This article will provide an explanation of how Hatha Yoga is practiced. This article will also discuss the meaning of the term. It also covers the format of classes described. Whether you're new to Hatha Yoga or practicing it for years, you'll be able to benefit from this complete guide on the benefits that come from Hatha Yoga. Benefits. Hatha Yoga is a form of exercise that focuses on breathing and gentle motion. It has many benefits, which include increased endurance and strength. It also improves joint mobility and helps improve posture. The practice of improving your posture can be particularly beneficial for those suffering from lung or back troubles. By following one Hatha Yoga class, you get the benefits from yoga without the danger of an injury. Hatha Yoga is a great option to make your body healthier and vibrant. The result is a greater overall quality of life as well as a better sense of wellness. The endocrine glands produce the hormones that you require for proper functioning. They can also be stimulated by the thoughts you think about. It is possible to think about falling, and that could activate the pituitary gland. Both of these conditions can affect the harmony in your physical body, as well as improving general physical fitness. Hatha Yoga also helps in reducing tension and stress. Hatha Yoga practitioners report lower blood pressure and cortisol levels. They also have greater faith in stressful situations. Hatha Yoga has also been proven to improve balance and core strength. The meaning, Hatha Yoga, an old method of meditation, which combines the physical and mental aspects and is described as an old tradition. It helps develop physical strength, flexibility, and also relaxation. It can also help awaken the dormant Shiva energy within the body. The subtle body is home to this energy hidden beneath the human growths. Numerous energy centers, also known as chakras or lotiform, are the basis of the subtle body. Hatha Yoga aims to align these energy centers by balancing the opposing forces. It is achieved by doing exercises that challenge the body, mind, and breathing. The phrase Ha is used to describe the moon or sun. It can also mean flow. The term Tha signifies energy. Brahmamitra Awasta, who is Yoga Bija's creator, states that these terms relate to the flow of energy and are utilized in Yoga Bija as Hatha or Asana. In Hatha Yoga, the Kundalini, also known as Kai, is the inexplicably spiraling energy which is responsible for the body's energy flow. As an ascetic practice, Hatha Yoga can be a means to improve your physique and mind. As a practice in the past, the Hatha Yoga gurus would perform tapas, which means heat, glow, or austerity. Even to this day, they perform intense actions like performing bat penance and never sitting on their feet. Origin. It is a method of regulating the flow of energy from the base to the middle of the body. It is a practice that aims to bring the awareness, balance, and harmony among polarities. The body is taught to control the forces of physical, mental, and environmental. The focus of yoga is developing your personal. The ascetic practice that developed along the border of India in the region of Nepal is the source of Hatha Yoga. Hindu belief systems about reincarnation and karma inspired the ascetics. Hatha Yoga practitioners employed extraordinary methods of cleansing the body and mind. The practice involved pushing the individual over their physical and psychological limitations. The practice of yoga known as Hatha has been in practice over thousands of years. Some believe the practice is at most 5,000 years old. Others say it is at least 10,000 years. The practice began without the use of written or printed words. Practitioners shared their stories via conversation. It was considered to be secretive and mysterious for a long period. Some of the first yoga writings were made using palm leaves. Hatha yoga is an ancient science that emphasizes the relationship between the mind and body. It is believed that the Sanskrit term Hatha translates to moon. However, it's also used as a synonym for sun. The sun is action and the moon is internalization and is calming. Format for classes. The right Hatha yoga class format will necessitate careful planning and a thorough understanding of your students. The style you pick will depend on the type of group you're seeking, and you have to think about the motivations of your participants for taking part in the class. Many people might want to learn yoga as a way to improve their physical or mental health. Certain people might want to shed weight or gain the flexibility. Some may want to deal with sleeping disorders. There are many variants of yoga classes, however, the majority follow a standard pattern that works for the majority of students. Certain sequences follow the progression of easy as well as more difficult poses. The sequences usually end with a relaxation. However, if you are teaching a class for beginners or for those who are only beginning to learn, it's recommended to use an established sequence that will help the students learn the moves and increase their self-confidence. Hatha yoga classes should include breathing exercises and different poses. The way a class is taught depends on the instructor, however. Most classes will start with a centering exercise, either sitting or lying down. It can then be followed by an enlightened meditation with breathing exercises, meditation, or silent meditation. Physique. The physique of Hatha yoga is the study of physical body's interaction with the mind. This is a process of intense physical cleansing. It is accomplished by setting pranic and kundalini forces into motion. These forces set the stage for consciousness changes. It leads to excellent overall health and a long lifespan. It also provides a strong base for the nervous system. Hatha yoga incorporates a range of poses to strengthen the core. This is a good thing for the lower back, pelvis, and hips. The muscles in the core are essential to daily activities such as running and other activities. There is a challenge for people to sit straight or perform simple things like standing up. Hatha yoga isn't about creating muscles, it's about creating root structures. One of the most crucial aspects of Hatha yoga's practice is the breathing. The proper way to breathe helps you to breathe easier, as well as regulating the flow of oxygen within the body. Breathing properly can prevent or alleviate bronchial asthma, emphysema, and heart problems. Meditation. One of the most important and basic method of practice is meditation. Many of its benefits are the ability to relax and rejuvenate. It can also help to develop a sense of peace within, which lets the person practicing it to fully integrate his or her personality. In its purest form, meditation blurs the boundaries of the physical, mental, as well as spiritual realms, and brings to a profound peace within and inner truth. The practice of meditation in Hatha yoga is done through the use of breathing methods. Alternate nostril breathing is one of the fundamental techniques. Alternate nostril breathing is a technique to relax the nervous system. It can also be utilized to prepare you for Hatha yoga meditation. This breathing practice can be applied in numerous different ways. This method is especially beneficial for individuals suffering from mental illness and children who are hyperactive, flimsy or agitated, or anyone with difficulty focus. The practice of meditation in Hatha yoga often involves the application of mudras. In particular, the yogi's hands are often in a mudra called jnana to produce the quality of wisdom. The practice can be carried out while you are standing up to pray. The practice promotes relaxation and unleashes your body's capacity for living. IC relief. Yoga is a great option to provide IC relief to men and women suffering from urological issues like cystitis or incontinence. Traditional treatments often fail to cure these conditions and may be frustrating for patients, but Hatha yoga has shown promise in treating these disorders. This holistic method of wellness and healing is known as Hatha yoga. Patients with IC are often able to contract the pelvic floor muscles to empty their bladders. The result is discomfort and pain. Pelvic floor muscles assist the bladder and control the tube that carries urine as well as exiting into the body. There aren't many rigorous studies comparing yoga and traditional PT, however. Both American Pain Society as well as the American College of Physicians endorse yoga as a method of treatment to treat CLBP. Although no direct comparison has been conducted between these treatments, however, there are some commonalities with regards to the results. For those suffering from CLBP, it is possible to use Hatha yoga, which is an accessible and effective exercise. Hatha yoga for beginners. If you're new to Hatha yoga, it can be difficult to know how to begin. Here, you'll learn about child's pose, bridge pose, and locust pose. Eventually, you'll get to a peak pose, but this won't be the focus of your class. You'll also learn about meditation. Bridge pose. Bridge pose is a basic Hatha yoga asana that works the chest, neck, spine, and hips. To perform this pose, begin by kneeling on the floor, then push your hips upward and your legs and arms out. To complete the pose, relax and focus on your breathing. You should hold the pose for 30 minutes, 60 seconds. This pose can be a challenging but essential part of your yoga practice. It helps to relieve stress and focus your attention inward. While you may be tempted to hold this pose for several minutes, remember that the goal is to stay in one place for a long period of time. Bridge pose improves core strength, lengthens the spine, and stimulates the thyroid gland. It also works on the hamstrings and lower back. You should hold a block to support your lower back and use your leg muscles to support the pose. It is an excellent prerequisite for back bends and is great for building strength in the lower body. The bridge pose is a challenging back bend that strengthens the back and stretches the front body. Begin by lying on your back and placing your feet hip width apart. Make sure to align the spine and neck to get into the best position. In this way, you will develop strength in the back and reduce your chances of back injury. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, this asana can help you achieve balance and flexibility. Even a short practice will help your body achieve the right balance and improve strength. You can even practice it for 15 minutes a day and find it beneficial to your daily routine. This asana will improve your posture and improve the circulation in your heart. Practice regularly, this asana can improve your blood pressure and reduce headaches. It also strengthens the muscles surrounding your torso. As a bonus, you will notice a reduction in anxiety and stress. There are literally thousands of variations of this yoga pose. It's important to choose the right pose and sequence in your yoga class to maximize the benefits. Beginners can begin by practicing this basic asana and building up their core strength. As your practice progresses, you can advance to more difficult and advanced poses. Ultimately, Hatha Yoga helps you align your system with the cosmos. It strengthens the muscles and prepares your mind for meditation. Afterwards, you can sit quietly in a quiet place and experience the true essence of yoga. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced practitioner, Hatha Yoga can benefit your mind and body and lead to a peaceful inner spirituality. Child's pose. Child's pose is a restorative and rejuvenating posture. Although it may be easy to perform, a proper alignment is essential for the pose to be effective. For example, it helps stretch tight hamstrings. It is most commonly performed in staff pose, with the left knee bent and the foot touching the inner thigh. Child's pose helps center the mind and soothe the nervous system. It also relieves neck and back pain. It also helps stimulate the digestive and elimination processes. It is not recommended for people with knee problems or pregnant women. As with any pose, child pose should be practiced with the correct breathing pattern. Child's pose can also be included into more advanced yoga sequences. It helps beginners slow their breathing and recalibrate their bodies. Beginner yoga students can easily become overwhelmed by more difficult flows. If this happens, many yoga teachers will recommend that students return to Balasana whenever they feel overwhelmed or need a break. Child's pose is one of the most basic and foundational poses in Hatha Yoga. It helps reduce fatigue and improves blood circulation throughout the body. It also stretches the muscles around the knees. Inversion of the upper body is an essential part of this foundational pose. To achieve this, participants must form a table-like structure with their arms and legs. To begin, the torso must be upright and gazing forward. The back, side, and front bodies should be stretched. The right shoulder should be turned to the right. Inhalation should lengthen the spine and exhalation should extend the upper body toward the floor. The hands should be wide and stacked, while the head should rest on the back of the hands. If you feel uncomfortable in child's pose, you can add a yoga block or blanket on the floor to make the position more comfortable. Adding a yoga bolster or yoga block to the floor will allow your chest to expand a little more. Using a yoga bolster can also help if you have stiff hips or ankles. Child's pose is an ideal pose for beginners. It helps stretch the back, hip, and arm muscles while calming the nervous system. Practicing this posture will help you relax and improve the quality of your sleep. If you are pregnant, you should consult your doctor before practicing this posture. When practicing child's pose in Hatha Yoga, you may be able to sit for longer periods of time. This basic seated posture is one of the 15 original Hatha Yoga asanas. Its Sanskrit name is Bhadra. For beginners, it is important to keep your spine straight and your hands on your knees. The child's pose in Hatha Yoga is a great posture for beginners. Because it does not require a lot of flexibility, it is an excellent choice for beginner yoga. Locust pose. Locust pose is a powerful, foundational pose that improves posture and balance. It strengthens the lower back and helps counter the effects of sitting or computer work, which can result in slouching and kyphosis. Beginners should start in the locust pose on their belly, with feet together and hands reaching back. Lift the legs up while keeping your chest and head raised off the floor. While lowering the arms, make sure the wrists are as close together as possible. Locust pose is especially challenging for the lower back muscles, but is also great for stretching the midsection. It also improves breathing and helps relieve mental fatigue. To begin this pose, you should lie on your stomach on the floor. Place your hands beside your body, extending your arms. Then, roll your thighs inward while pressing your pubic bone into the floor. Locust pose improves circulation, strengthens the thighs and hips, regulates the acid-base balance, and massages internal organs. It is one of the most important beginner poses in Hatha Yoga. To practice it, lie on your yoga mat. Stay in the position for about 2 to 3 minutes. Beginners should avoid attempting this pose without a yoga instructor. Although it requires no advanced training, it will help improve stability in your life and increase the circulation of blood throughout your body. It is ideal for those who wish to stretch their legs before moving on to more advanced poses. As with all beginner poses, locust pose requires a strong core and a flexible spine. It is also important to focus on proper posture and breathe properly. If you can do this correctly, this pose can help you avoid many common injuries, such as back pain, headaches, and sinus infections. Locust pose helps your body to align with the cosmos. The sun and the moon are two main energy sources in your body, and balancing these two energies will help you achieve balance and alignment. A balanced body will help you to achieve the highest consciousness level. Locust pose is a hip-opening, back-bending yoga pose that will improve posture. It also helps to lengthen the spine. Locust pose develops the quadriceps, gluteal muscles, and abdominal muscles. It will also strengthen your ankles and foot arches. It will also open up your chest and improve your breathing capacity. Hatha Yoga, a guide. If you've wondered about how you can practice Hatha Yoga, this article will assist you in understanding what is the basis and purpose behind this ancient practice. It also discusses the meaning of the term. The class format is also covered. This detailed guide will assist you gain an understanding of the many advantages associated with Hatha Yoga, whether you are just beginning or an experienced practitioner. Benefits. Hatha Yoga, a type of yoga that is based on breathing and gentle motion, is a form. There are many advantages to it, for example, increased strength and endurance. Additionally, it improves joint mobility and helps improve posture. If you suffer from back pain or lung issues, it is crucial to improve the posture of your body. If you follow a Hatha Yoga class, you get the benefits from yoga without the danger of injuries. Hatha Yoga is a great method to help make your body feel more vibrant and active. It improves your general health and well-being by improving the health of your endocrine glands. Your endocrine glands secrete your hormones to be functioning properly. They can also be stimulated by the thoughts you think about. As an example, you might consider falling and activate the pituitary gland. This can cause a disruption to your overall physical harmony, as well as improving general physical fitness. Hatha Yoga also helps in reducing tension and stress. Hatha Yoga practitioners report lower blood pressure and cortisol levels. Additionally, they have more self-confidence in stressful circumstances. Additionally, it's been confirmed to increase balance and core strength. The meaning. Hatha Yoga is an old practice that blends the advantages of physical exercise with mental concentration. This helps to increase endurance and flexibility in the body as well as relax. The body also experiences an increase of resting Shiva energy. This energy is stored in the body's subtle structure, which hides behind the human frame. Numerous energy centers, commonly referred to as chakras or lotiform, compose the body's subtle. Hatha Yoga strives to bring alignment to the energy centers through balancing two opposing forces. It's done by engaging the mind, body, and breath with exercises. The word Ha is used to describe moon and the sun, and it also means flow. The word Tha refers to energy. In the Yoga Bija, Brahmamitra Awasti clarifies that the terms mean energy flow and are referring to Hatha as well as Asana. As in Hatha Yoga, the Kundalini, or Kai, is the spiraling energy that is responsible for the body's energy flow. The spiritual tradition in yoga offers a means for people to develop their mind and body. It was a form of ancient yoga. Hatha yogis would practice tapas, which means heat, glow, or austerity. The Hatha yogis still perform amazing feats like bat penance without ever having to sit down. Origin. Hatha Yoga is a practice which regulates the flow energy from the base to the central point of the body. It seeks to increase equilibrium, awareness, and unification of opposing polarities. It teaches the body to control the opposing forces at work in our body, mind, and surroundings. It is all about developing your personal. The ascetic religion that began to develop in the region between India as well as Nepal is the source of Hatha Yoga. Hindu faith systems of fate and karma influenced the ascetics. Hatha Yoga practitioners employed extraordinary techniques to cleanse both the body and the mind. These practices involved pushing the person beyond their physical and mental limitations. The practice of Hatha Yoga, which has existed for many thousands of years. The practice is believed to be at least 50 years old. Other people believe it could be as old as 10,000 years. The practice was first conducted without any paper or written words. Practitioners shared their stories via conversation. It was considered to be secretive and unsettling for many years. A lot of yoga's earliest writings were made using palm leaves. Hatha Yoga is an ancient discipline that is based on the interplay between the body and mind. The Sanskrit term Hatha refers to the moon. However, it's an alternative to Sunday. To Sunday is the action and turn, internalization, and calm moods. Format for classes. Finding the best Hatha Yoga class format will require careful planning and a deep understanding of your students. The style you pick will depend on the type of group you're seeking, and you must consider the reasons for joining. Most people would like to do yoga to boost their mental and physical health. Many may also want to reduce the weight, get more flexible, or manage sleep problems. Although there are a variety of yoga-based classes, however, the majority follow a standard design that's suitable for most students. There are some sequences that follow a step-by-step sequence that moves from simpler to more difficult poses, and they tend to end with relaxation. However, if you are teaching a class for beginners or for those who are starting out, it's an ideal idea to stick to an established sequence that will aid students in learning the exercises and boost their confidence. Good Hatha Yoga class format will include various poses, including breathing exercises, as well as contemplation. The class's format will depend on the instructor, however. The majority of classes begin with a scented exercise which can be done lying down or sitting. Then, it can be followed by some guided meditations and breathing exercises or silent meditation. Physique. The physique of Hatha Yoga is the study of physique's relation to the mind. It involves rigorous physiological purification. It's done by putting Kundalini and pranic forces in motion. If these forces get set into motion, changes take place in consciousness. It leads to excellent longevity and good health. It also helps strengthen the nervous system. Hatha Yoga includes many postures to strengthen your core. This includes the spine, hips, and pelvis. The core muscle is essential for everyday activities like running or other sports. It can be difficult for individuals to sit upright and perform basic tasks such as sitting up. Hatha Yoga is not all about developing muscles, but instead of the cultivation of the roots. Hatha Yoga's principal aspect is its ability to breathe. Proper breathing enhances the capacity to breathe and controls the oxygen flow. Breathing properly can prevent or treat bronchial asthma, emphysema, and heart problems. Meditation. Hatha Yoga's primary and essential exercise is the practice of meditation. The many benefits of it include relaxing and rejuvenation. It can also help to develop a sense of inner calm, which permits the user to be a part of their personality. In its purest form, meditation blurs boundaries between the physical, mental, and spiritual realms, bringing about profound inner peace and inner truth. Meditation in Hatha Yoga is done through the use of breathing techniques. One of the most crucial techniques is to use breathing through alternate nostrils. This breathing technique calms the nervous system. It is also one among the main techniques for practicing Hatha Yoga meditation. There are many variations of this breathing technique. This technique is extremely beneficial to those with mental disorders and children who are hyperactive, flimsy, or agitated, and anyone who has trouble focusing. The practice of meditation within Hatha Yoga often involves the use of mudras. For example, the yogi's hands are often placed in a mudra called Jnana to produce the quality of wisdom. It is performed during a standing prayer stance. It encourages peace and opens your body to the world. I see relief. Yoga may provide I see relief for both men and women suffering from urinary problems that include cystitis as well as incontinence. They are usually hard to treat and conventional methods can fall short, but Hatha Yoga has shown that it can treat these conditions. This holistic way of treatment and wellness is referred to as Hatha Yoga. Individuals suffering from IC tend to contract their pelvic floor muscles to empty their bladders, and those muscles that are tight can cause the pelvis to hurt. Pelvic floor muscles are responsible for supporting the bladder, manage the small tube of the bladder as well as exiting into the body. Even though no research has been conducted to compare yoga with traditional PT, the American Pain Society and the American College of Physicians support yoga as a possible treatment for chronic BP. Although no direct comparison has been conducted between these treatments, but there are certain similarities in the outcomes. Hatha Yoga is a highly easily accessible and effective type of exercise that can be used by individuals who suffer with CLBP.